because it's kind of to the point where I want to know, but don't want to be a horrible. Oh, babe, it's going to be alright. I certainly hope it will. You be sure to let Monty know, will you? I didn't know if I told you this or not, but Monty is a proctologist during the day, and I'm a sandwich maker at night. I know, that's a corny joke. Hmm. Hmm. Do I still speak with Vaughn? No. I haven't spoken with Vaughn forever. Why? Why do you ask? Vaughn Pony's vid with the... You know what? That was funny. He told me he didn't like that one. But I thought it was hysterical. You gotta troll Vaughn every now and then. Every chance you get, you know? That's hilarious. You know what? Ever since that crazy girl shit, you know, I unsubscribed. I don't watch his videos. I don't fucking know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what he's up to. Sometimes I go into his Blog TV show. You know what I'm saying? But as far as I'm concerned, that's water under the bridge. That was so long ago. Who fucking cares? I don't. You were thinking about me when I was out there. Why didn't you call me? Everybody's got my phone fucking number. Monty put a little trick thing on his phone, sure did. I'll never hear the fucker ring, but I'll be getting all your fucking numbers too. Isn't that neat? Sure is. Monty's kind of slick when it comes to telecom. Kind of naughty. Pony's vid. I'm busy with life. You know what I mean? I'm not now because I just got off fucking work. They got your number. Who's got my number? Oh no, they got my phone number. Yeah, but I set up a little surprise for any motherfucker who calls that number now. Call it. I want you to. I'll never hear it ring. Go ahead. I got four more phone numbers, bitch. Call it. Have at it. Do it. I'll trace that motherfucker that quick. I don't need no subpoena. If I can't trace it, I'll make a phone call and somebody else will. Isn't that neat? Sure is neat. I love it. Call it. Call it. Have at it. You can call it, and I'll have you down to a fucking inch of where you sit. So call it. And if you don't believe that, just go look for a video about a private investigator that wanted to play games with me and say that she worked for 911. I traced that fucking bitch in about 10 minutes. Isn't that neat? Sure is neat. I bet you she's not laughing now. Because now her photograph, her sexual orientation, her home address, her telephone number, all her family fucking members is on the internet. Isn't that neat? And her voice! Breaking the law. Call it! I challenge you motherfuckers, call that fucking number. I got it set up, it'll ring one time and I'm gonna snap your ass. Sure will. Isn't that neat? Do it! I will fucking snap your ass into reality. If you can trace me to where I am, really? Call that fucking number and I will. Then I'll post it online for you. But it won't be on YouTube, bitch. Isn't that neat? Let's see. Deepwater, how have you been? I PM'd one day. how you to trace someone using your tips. Let's see, using your tips, I was able to trace that ass munch. You were? Well, there you go. Isn't that neat? Isn't that cool? Well, let me ask you a question. Once you traced the fucktard, then what'd you do? Did you do anything about it? Well, good for you, buddy. Good for you. There you go, baby. There you go. Isn't it neat? It sure is neat. Yeah, all these fucking fucktards that play games with people and shit, they just don't know who the fuck people are. I'm a nobody, and I love being a nobody. It's awesome being a nobody. I bet you that motherfucker shit his pants. Baby, I always miss you, sunshine. I always miss you. I do. Sometimes when I'm doing certain things by myself, I'm thinking about you. But I don't want you to know I am, you know, thinking about you. You know, I don't want you getting that, you know. I mean, how do chicks feel about that? Huh? When a dude's talking about shining his shoes. Hey, I was shining my shoes today and I was thinking about you. You know? Oh, shit. Here comes Phil McCracken. Who is this fucking guy, Phil McCracken? Oh, that's awesome. Now, listen, how's it going, Phil? What's happening to you? Long time no see. Phil McCracken. Yeah, that's it. Phil McCracken. Excuse me. Actually, I've been taking a long, extended... Jesus, I think it's taken me fucking 7 days to put up a video. That's not like me at all. Oh shit, I'm sorry I get indigestion. There's really nothing been to fucking do videos about. I'm getting ready to do a little production here in May with some people. The name of that, oddly enough, the name of that production is going to be called The Promise Phone. Gonna be real neat. Sure is. It's gonna be super neat. The Promise Phone. You're sitting here sharpening new cold steel machete. Yeehaw. Hopefully more people show up to watch. Oh, it doesn't matter if they do or not. You know how I feel about that. I don't even care. It doesn't even matter. You know, as long as Brostorm's here, and where the fuck is Ronson and Ronson? Monograph Show is not a show without Ronson and Ronson. You know what I mean? I gotta have Ronson here. That's like a staple. It's like a... Put it this way, that's like having meatloaf without ketchup. You can't have meatloaf without ketchup, motherfucker. It ain't gonna work. You can't put mustard on meatloaf. Well, you could, but that ain't right. You can't put mayonnaise on a fucking meatloaf, can you? Because I tell you what, if you're gonna let your meatloaf, fuck it, might as well use mayonnaise, right? Ronson and Ronson. Yeah, doesn't it? It sounds like a law firm. Ronson and Ronson at law. Mad Cow Meatloaf. Holy shit. Who was it gonna... You know who I was gonna interview? You know who I was gonna interview for real? I'm trying to get an interview. You ain't gonna believe this. Probably won't be successful. Don't really know if it will be or not. I'm trying to get an interview with Neil Armstrong. I doubt it. He's only done one fucking interview in all his life. He ain't gonna grant me a motherfucking interview. He's only done one. He's only done one. Only one. But Monty knows somebody who works at ABC News. And he just happens to know him. He's known him for fucking longer than probably I've been alive. Well, not that long, but a while. I'd love to fucking talk to that guy. Because you know what I'd like to talk to him about? And by the way, they're stating there's supposed to be a show on television. I don't watch television, but one of the Russians was telling me about it. And they were saying that they're supposed to air a video, not a video, but I don't know, it's a production about how 8% of the United States population believes that the United States did not go to the moon. I'm part of that 8%. And I'll tell you why. If you don't believe me, please Google it, please investigate it, and see for yourself. Around the Earth, there is something called, let's see if I can get my Learning Channel pen out. There are these things that go around like this. This is the Learning Channel. This is the Earth and shit. Earth. Alright. The Earth is there. You have those things called the Van Allen radiation belts. You got that? They're 25,000 miles thick. You got that? You sure are. All satellites, I know telecommunication satellites, are far under that medium. Sure are. Because they would be fucking destroyed if they went, you know, if they were just hovering around the Van Allen radiation belts. Now, NASA themselves have sent up astronauts beyond the space station, and the space station is underneath the Van Allen radiation belts. Sure is. But one time, the astronauts went beyond the space station, and they were getting very close to the Van Allen radiation belts, where they had to turn around immediately and come back. Because the astronauts, they weren't even in the belts. They were just near it. The radiation is so powerful, it goes right through the fucking sides of the spaceship there. And it goes right in the body, dude. Fucking radiation will go right through the fucking body, or it attaches itself to the fucking cells. That's how you get cancer and all that bullshit, right? They were talking about how the astronauts were talking about they were getting dizzy, they were starting to hallucinate, they lost vision, and they had to immediately, I'm talking about fucking immediately, turn around and come back. Now, excuse me, let's do some math. Does anybody know how fast a rocket goes, or the one that went to the moon? Is it 6,000 miles an hour? Is it 1,500 miles per hour? Does anybody know? Because I don't know. I'm a nobody. I don't know this shit. Okay? Does anybody know how fast those fucking rockets go? Just thereabouts. Just a guess. Is it 1,000 miles an hour? Is it 800 miles an hour? Because if it's 1,000 miles an hour, guess what? It would take 25 hours. It ain't a million, you knucklehead. It ain't 20,000. You'd fucking... Your body would fall apart if it was. So, let's just say it was 1,000 miles per hour, which I doubt, but let's just say it was. Is it over 9,000? Even if it was 10,000 miles an hour, that would mean the human body would have to be in that spaceship. The human body, I'm not talking about a machine. I'm talking about the human body. The human body would have to be in that fucking machine for 2.5 hours. Really? Fuck off. You are so full of shit, your eyes are brown. We never went to the moon. It's garbage. Because of the Van Allen radiation belts, period, the motherfucking end. Never. We never did. It's horseshit. Hold on a second, PM person. So, let's do some math. If we never went to the moon, how in the fuck is it that we think we did? Do you realize how big of a conspiracy that would have to be? Do you know how that was pulled off? All that shit, all that footage was shot in England. And all the moon effects bullshit was spliced in from Area 51. Oops. That sucks, doesn't it? I'll tell you what, if you don't believe that, why don't you pull up Google Earth and you just zoom down and head, let's see, north. No, I'm sorry. You head south, southwest. You do that. And peer in on there, and you'll see all these little fucking bumps and dimples and all that bullshit. From these little these miniature nuclear explosions or explosions that they set off. Alright? It looks just like craters, dude. The lighting, here's another thing, too. Alright? Just keep this in mind. Go back and look at some of the moon footage. Now, I'm not bullshitting. My father took the video, the actual footage of the fucking dudes coming back. I believe it was in Florida. As they're coming down and the parachutes are around, they're holding them and shit, and they're floating in the water. He took that footage. That's a fact motherfucking jack for ABC News. Sure did. Yep. That's a fucking fact. He was there, man. Now, here's the thing. What happened was, it is my theory, I'm not saying that this happened because I wasn't there. He was, but I wasn't. This is what I believe. The fucking astronauts went up, and they went underneath the Van Allen radiation belts, in which they went around the Earth for several days or however long they were up there, and then they just fucking came back. That's it. You got that? They pulled a fucking satellite trick. No motherfucker went to the moon because no motherfucker could endure 2.5 hours going through the Van Allen radiation belts. Suck a big fat cock. It can't happen. It won't happen. It will never happen. Not in your lifetime, not mine. No way, no how. It's not going to happen. The next time you talk to fucking NASA and they want to run their mouth in Florida about how we went to the moon, ask them this question. Why is it when you have the moon footage there and the little thing lands, how come there's no dust on the feet of the landing gear? Just curious. Why is there not a crater underneath where the propulsion, where the engines fire and shit? Why is the ground not burned? Just curious. I'm not trying to be a smart ass. Monty has been doing special effects photography for over 20 years. Sure have. And 15 of those years was before Adobe Photoshop was ever invented. I could have you and your old lady butt fucking on the moon, and you'd swear to God you were there. And I didn't even touch Adobe Photoshop. It's all done with green screens, blue screens, and black screens. So why is it that they have all this shit going on? You can hear these astronauts talking and shit. Right? How come you don't hear any fucking shit going on in the background? How come you don't hear the fucking motion and movement of the vehicles they're riding around in? Why would that be? Here's another question for you. Why is it that Google Earth, you can peer down right on somebody's fucking house just like that. How come we can't go see that flag where supposedly we landed on the moon? Well, why not? We should be able to. We should be able to see that fucking flag. How come we can't? We'll never will see that flag because we never went there. Anybody that tells you we went to the moon is full of shit. You ask them about the Van Allen radiation belts. How is that possible? And how come we haven't gone back? All these people that theorize that we have some bullshit going on the moon and bullshit, you know, these, what do you call it, where people are hanging out and living in a, fuck off. Impossible. Can't be done. Because you'd have to go 25,000 miles through the Van Allen radiation belts, which you're not going to go. Now, machinery can go there, but humans can't. No, sure can't. Because that fucking radiation would kill your ass in probably 10 minutes. We'll read the chat log here. If they let us see the close with Google Earth, I think. Now, here's the one thing I did want to say, and I did want to stress. The video that I made just the other day talking about the cell phones, the reason why I told people that is because closer and closer we are moving into an absolute, and this isn't my opinion, this is a fact because of the NDAA. I know I'm on that a lot. The National Defense Authorization Act is nothing but a precursor to political prisoners. That's all it is. Listen, if you cannot defeat your opponent, arrest them, incarcerate them forever. We're talking secret police, see you later, bye-bye, off you could go, never see your goofy ass again. Never, ever. No charge, no trial, no jury. An absolute breaking of the 4th and 14th Amendment. To be secure in your papers and habeas corpus. A right to a speedy trial. Right, gone. Off it goes. Freedom of speech, goodbye. Second Amendment will be taken away within 5 years or less, guaranteed. Bet on it. They'll do it one or two ways. They'll do it one of three ways. Treaty, signing with the UN or another nation, or other nations. But it'll be incrementally, like it is now. Second way is they could do it by what Bank of America just pulled. Excuse me, I don't give a fuck who you are. If you're in business, you have got to work with lines of credit. How do you think your food gets to your grocery store? It gets there through a line of credit. Do you really believe the shipper is going to say, sure, you know, we'll deliver $150,000 worth of goods because you said you'd pay us? No, it works on credit. And you have to have lines of credit, and you have to work through banks because you're dealing with hundreds of thousands, millions, and billions of dollars and all that bullshit. Nobody's going to work with you unless you have a good line of credit. If you don't have a good line of credit, you're out of business. So the bullshit the Bank of America pulled, what happens when Chase pulls that shit? What happens when U.S. Bank pulls that shit? What happens when all of them pull that shit? Guess what? You're out of business, motherfucker. Nobody will do business with you. No one. That's the second way they're going to do it. Third way they'll do it, they'll put a cap lock on the fucking ammunition, bitch. It'll be a done deal. You're fucking screwed. So, about your cell phone. All that shit is not bullshit. I proved that in a fucking, I don't know, one of these little meetings we had on Blog TV where I called subpoena compliance. And you heard it with your own ears. It says archived records. What does archive mean? Look it up. It means history. You got that? And right now, today, this afternoon, guess what happened to my cell phone? The man activated my fucking background noise. Sure did. And guess what? I had a long talk with him for about an hour and 40 minutes. Running my mouth. Sure did. And I was sure to tell him, I said, listen here, bitch, the only reason why Thank you very much, Deepwater. The only reason why that I'm allowed to fucking talk to you right now, and I'm gonna talk to you, is because I'm allowing my... But if I don't want you to hear what the fuck I'm saying, I'm gonna tin can your ass up. You ain't gonna hear a fucking word. You ain't gonna know where I'm going, when I'm going. Eat a dick. Now there's only one other cell phone, but it's activated. They're activating my background noise. I'm not paranoid, bitch. I'm telling you. They've activated my fucking background noise. So any of you fuckers want to get away from me, do it now. You know what I mean? I don't give two shits. Gotta sit there and talk to them today for an hour and 40 minutes, knowing they're fucking listening to every word. Call them assholes and fuck off and totalitarian little bitches and all that bullshit. Good. Go ahead. I don't give a fuck. But the safest phone that you can use is a satellite phone. You got that? To get the records to a satellite phone, man, that's almost impossible. And by the way, the private sector, in other words, if I had your cell phone number, I could fucking tap your goddamn number as just a guy. Isn't that neat? Sure is cool. That's right. It's a lot of fun. Sure is. I read somewhere that if your cell phone battery gets hot, then you're being followed. Actually, that is potentially true. And how that's true is because when somebody is monitoring your phone, especially if it's a smartphone, they're using a lot of data, believe it or not, because they're transmitting and receiving at the same exact time. But you see, you're not using it. You see what I'm saying? But they are. Now, if you're really wizard, you can hook up that cell phone and see if that shit's being tapped. There's another thing, too. You can disable all the GPS bullshit in a fucking phone by reprogramming it. Isn't that neat? But they're going to get real pissed off if you do that. And chances are they're going to suddenly eliminate your fucking cell service. They'll say, oh, well, there's some sort of glitch. We'll pay for you to get a new one. Fuck off, dude. You know what I'm saying? You have to know how to reprogram those phones. Fuck it. I got 5 cell phones. I don't give a shit. No, I got 4 cell phones. That's right. Because one of them, I got a little present set up for all you fuckers that want to call that other number. Call it. There's already been 3 motherfuckers that was stupid enough to call that motherfucker. What a dumbass. And you know what? It's the oddest thing. I'm just not going to say that yet. I'm going to wait until I get that shit all down. I'll be flopping it up on a website somewhere, and I'll send everybody to it. I'm reading chat log here. It says, what do you mean by activated? Okay, what I mean by that is, let me get my cell phone out because I don't give a shit if they're listening to me or not. Not right now. Okay, what happens is right here is your microphone. Well, right there is the microphone on this particular phone. You got that? So what they do is the carrier, whoever the carrier is, Nextel, I think mine's Nextel, I can't remember, I think it is. This particular one, I think it's Nextel. What they do is they activate it on the server side. So every word that I'm saying, they're recording it. Isn't that neat? It's usually voice activated, so that way it's less on the memory. A lot of the microphone systems work on your microphones work that way. I don't give a fuck if they're recording me. Not right now. But when I'm doing some shit and somebody comes over to my house and we need to have a conversation, the first fucking thing I do is take their cell phone, take mine, put it in the refrigerator, close it up. Listen to that, bitch. You ain't gonna listen to nothing. Because I just Faraday'd cage your ass, bitch. Signal ain't going in, ain't coming out. Fuck off. You know what I mean? It's airtight, light tight. you ain't getting in. If I feel nervous, because that's like a 50-50, I just stick it in a